Sunrise Good News 42. World to heaven or to hell? Akong mga hinigugma ng mga igsoon tibok kalibutan, mga kapatid, 109 million Filipinos, ang 7.8 billion people around the world. Magandang gabi, magandang araw po, good day kaninyong tanan. Our discussion for Sunrise 42 is focused on the World War III. Is it directed to heaven or directed to hell? Sino ba ang director sa the Third World War III? Is God the director or is it Satan who is the supreme commander? Ano ba ang result? Na billions of people would die in a maximum of one day. Ang billions of people, ang mga kaluluwa ng mga tao, billions of people to die. Para ba sa heaven or to hell? Yan ang paksa po nating i-discuss. The coverage of the overall discussion of the Sunrise 42, followed by Sunrise 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48 hanggang 49. Itong napakaraming mga evidences. Yung mga documentary at saka yung testimonial, yung mga lahat ng mga full documentary at saka yung mga video presentations. First and foremost, i-present po natin yung panahon nang ang Panginoon po natin ay pupunta na sa clouds. At saka, we will be presenting the Alpha and the Omega, yung the second coming na sa Panginoon. At saka yung final judgment niya, ano ba ang mangyari? Ang mga tao ba will be brought to heaven or they will be judged to hell? Yan ang i-present po natin. Lalo-lalo na, moreover, we will be presenting to you, ano ba ang root cause ng World War III? Bakit ba ang mga tanan nga mga kaymanan sa gubat, the warships lahat naman ay ready na, handang-handa na sa South China Sea, affecting the West Philippine Sea. Bakit ba? The venue of the Third World War is centered at South China Sea. Ipag-discuss po natin yung mga root cause talaga sa Third World War. We will be presenting to you sa West Philippine Sea, ano ba ang facts and data? And then, we have to present the legal, ano po ang legal na, the rule of law insofar as those of the war affecting the West Philippine Sea. We will be discussing the substantial cause of the Third World War at saka yung procedural cause sa Third World War. Kaya nga, i-present po natin ang China. Siyak na talaga ang China sa Philippine military, US, Australia, Japan that are preparing to attack China in South China Sea. 3.5 mile or square kilometers. So ito talaga, July 15, 2020. Then, the high tension na July 15, 2020. China attack US warships when sail in disputed South China Sea region. at saka yung barkong pandigma ng US at China nagkaharap na sa South China Sea. Just a distance of 100, no? 100 meters lang, no? So, nagharap na talaga. At saka yung July 15 na 2020, yung China shocked US Navy destroyed China warships in South China Sea amid pandemic. Besides the Inside Naval Strategies aircraft carrier USS Harvey and Truman full documentary way back sa December 16, 2019. At saka US Navy destroys Chinese aircraft carrier sa South China Sea. The latest world simulation naman. At saka yung Blue Angels and Thunderbirds fly together over New York City. Extended compilation. So, marami naman nga ipag-present po natin. At saka yung Japan, Taiwan, at Belgium, no? Pinayagan ng US na makabili po sila ng mga kagamitang pandigma. And then this will be forming sa alliances, US Alliance versus China Alliance. Bumala ang tensyon, warplanes ng China, walang paalam ng dumaan. So, ito, involving ang Australia, lahat na naman, no? So, we will be presenting everything. And so, ito nga, ang unang presentation natin, should the Third World War mangyari, ang mga tao talaga, ano ba? Doon ba sila sa heaven? O are they destined to hell? We will be presenting to you the second coming sa Panginoon.
അപ്പോൾ വലിയ കാഹളത്തോടും ശക്തിയോടും മഹത്വത്തോടും കൂടെ മനുഷ്യപുത്രൻ വാനമേഘങ്ങളിൽ വരും. ആകാശത്തിന്റെ ഒരറ്റം മുതൽ മറ്റേ അറ്റം വരെ 4 ദിക്കുകളിലേക്കും അവൻ തന്റെ ദൂതന്മാരെ അയച്ച് കല്ലറകൾ തുറക്കും. കിരുകിര ശബ്ദത്തോടെ വേർപെട്ടുപോയ അസ്ഥികൾ തമ്മിൽ ചേർന്ന് ശരീരം ധരിച്ച് മരിച്ചവരെല്ലാം ജീവൻ പ്രാപിക്കും. നല്ലതോ ചീത്തയോ ആയ ഏത് നിഗൂഢ പ്രവൃത്തിയും ദൈവത്തിന്റെ നീതിപീഠത്തിന് മുൻപിൽ വെളിപ്പെടും. ഗ്രന്ഥങ്ങൾ തുറക്കപ്പെടും. ചെറിയവരും വലിയവരും ഒരുപോലെ യേശുക്രിസ്തുവിന്റെ സിംഹാസനത്തിന് മുൻപിൽ നിൽക്കേണ്ടി വരും. താങ്കളുടെ പ്രവൃത്തികൾക്കനുസൃതം ഓരോരുത്തരും വിധിക്കപ്പെടും. തന്ത്രപൂർവം ഭാര്യയെ അഗ്നിക്കിരയാക്കി മറ്റൊരു സ്ത്രീയെ സ്വന്തമാക്കിയ ഒരു മനുഷ്യൻ. നിരാലംബരെ അവഗണിക്കുകയും പണം ധൂർത്തടിച്ച് സുഖലോലുപനായി ജീവിക്കുകയും ചെയ്തു. മകളെ പീഡിപ്പിച്ച ഒരു പിതാവ്. വ്യഭിചാരിണിയായ ഒരു സ്ത്രീ. രോഗികളെ അവഗണിച്ച് സമൂഹത്തെ കൊള്ളയടിച്ച് ധനമോഹിയായ ഒരു ഡോക്ടർ. മനുഷ്യനിർമ്മിതമായ വിഗ്രഹങ്ങളെ ദൈവങ്ങളായി ആരാധിക്കുവാൻ ജനങ്ങളെ പ്രേരിപ്പിച്ച ഒരുവൻ. ജീവന്റെ ഗ്രന്ഥത്തിൽ പേരെഴുതപ്പെടാത്തവരെല്ലാം പുഴുക്കൾ ചാകാത്തതും അഗ്നി ശമിക്കാത്തതുമായ നരകാഗ്നിയിലേക്ക് വലിച്ചെറിയപ്പെടും. തുറക്കപ്പെടും. ജീവിതത്തിൽ തകർന്നുപോയവർക്ക് താങ്ങാവുകയും അനേകരിൽ യേശുവിനെ പകർന്നു കൊടുക്കുകയും ചെയ്ത ഒരുവൻ. ഇല്ലായ്മയിൽ നിന്നും സുവിശേഷത്തിനു വേണ്ടി സഹായിക്കുകയും ദൈവവചനപ്രകാരം ജീവിക്കുകയും ചെയ്ത ഒരു സ്ത്രീ. പരിചരിക്കുകയും ദൈവവചനമനുസരിച്ച് ജീവിക്കുകയും ചെയ്ത ഒരു മനുഷ്യൻ. ദൈവവചന ശ്രവണത്തിലൂടെ മാനസാന്തരപ്പെട്ട് ക്രിസ്തുവിനെ രക്ഷകനും നാഥനുമായി സ്വീകരിച്ച ഒരുവൾ. ദൈവവചനത്തിനു വേണ്ടി സ്വന്തം ജീവൻ പോലും നഷ്ടപ്പെടുത്തുവാൻ തയ്യാറായ ഒരു മനുഷ്യൻ. ശരീരത്തിലായിരിക്കുമ്പോൾ വചനമനുസരിച്ച് ജീവിച്ചവരുടെ ശരീരങ്ങളെ മഹത്വമുള്ള സ്വർഗീയ ശരീരങ്ങളായി രൂപാന്തരപ്പെടുത്തി നിത്യ കൂടാരങ്ങളിലേക്ക് എടുക്കപ്പെടും. ജീവന്റെ ഗ്രന്ഥത്തിൽ പേരെഴുതപ്പെട്ടവർക്കെല്ലാം ദൈവത്തിന്റെ പറുദീസയിലേക്ക് പ്രവേശനം ലഭിക്കും. പഴയതെല്ലാം കടന്നുപോയി. ഇനിമേൽ ദുഃഖമോ വേദനയോ കരച്ചിലോ മുറവിളിയോ ഉണ്ടാവുകയില്ല. ശത്രുതയോ കലഹമോ വിദ്വേഷമോ അവിടെയില്ല. സന്തോഷവും സമാധാനവും ആനന്ദവുമാണ് അവിടെ. സ്വർഗത്തിൽ ദൈവസന്നിധിയിൽ നിന്ന് വിശുദ്ധ നഗരിയായ ജെറുസലേം ഇറങ്ങി വന്നു. മതിൽ സൂര്യകാന്തം കൊണ്ടും നഗരം തനി സ്വർണം കൊണ്ടും നിർമ്മിച്ചതായിരുന്നു. കവാടങ്ങളിൽ ഓരോ മുത്തുകളും ഇസ്രായേൽ ഗോത്രങ്ങളുടെയും അപ്പസ്തോലന്മാരുടെയും പേരുകളും എഴുതപ്പെട്ടിരുന്നു. കുഞ്ഞാടിന്റെ ഗ്രന്ഥത്തിൽ പേരെഴുതപ്പെട്ടവർ മാത്രമേ ഇതിൽ പ്രവേശിക്കുകയുള്ളൂ. നഗരത്തിന് പ്രകാശം നൽകുന്നത് സൂര്യനോ ചന്ദ്രനോ ആയിരിക്കുകയില്ല, ദൈവ തേജസ്സായിരിക്കും. അവിടെയാകട്ടെ രാത്രിയില്ലതാനും. സിംഹാസനത്തിൽ നിന്ന് പുറപ്പെടുന്ന ജീവജലത്തിന്റെ നദിയുമുണ്ടവിടെ. ദൈവത്താൽ തിരഞ്ഞെടുക്കപ്പെട്ടവർക്കെല്ലാം അവിടെ പ്രതിഫലവുമുണ്ട്. ഇനിമേൽ ഉണ്ടായിരിക്കുകയില്ല. അവിടെ ജീവന്റെ വൃക്ഷമുണ്ട്. യേശുവാകുന്നു വഴിയും സത്യവും ജീവനും. മരണത്തിൽ നിന്നും മനുഷ്യരെ ഉയർപ്പിച്ച് നിത്യജീവൻ നൽകാൻ യേശുക്രിസ്തു വീണ്ടും വരുമെന്ന യാഥാർത്ഥ്യം നിങ്ങൾ മറക്കരുതേ.
So, ito na nga, no, ang discussion po, no, ng ito ka talaga yung discussion sa pagbalik ng ating Panginoon. So, that's our final destination for this world, no, with the Philippines, and we have the West Philippine Sea, and ito talaga ang South China Sea. So ito ang China, a very big country with Russia, the biggest country in the world, and China. Ito talaga ang venue ng Third World War, no? Yung South China Sea, kaya nga West Philippine Sea. Ito ang East, no? So North, South, so West Philippine Sea. Ito ang naging issue talaga, no? Ito talaga ang naging issue ngayon sa Third World War. We will be discussing, bakit ba? What's the very reason why the venue would be at the South China Sea or SCS, no? That's West Philippine Sea. Ano ba? Bakit tinawag ito ng West Philippine Sea? Yan. What's the conflict with South China Sea? Kaya nga ang jurisdiction ng China, maliban ang China is a very big country, the biggest country in second to, of course, no, sa Russia, no, in Asia talaga, and 1.4 billion people, the highest ranking naman sa population sa buong daigdig ang China. Ano ba talaga? Let's now discuss kung what's the root cause. Bakit ba pinag-aagawan yung West Philippine Sea na pinag-claim talaga ng China? Ang pangalan ito ay South China Sea. Bakit pinag-agawan po ito sa China, no? At saka versus yung sa United States of America and allied forces. Ang Philippines naman before si President Duterte was on the side with Russia and China. Biglang out siya sa China, and now with United States of America. Ano ba talaga yung mystery, no? Ano ba talaga yung stand ni President Duterte? Bakit ba pinag-aagawan yung West Philippine Sea? Ano ba ang nandoon sa West Philippine Sea, o otherwise known na pinagtawag na ito ng South China Sea? So, dapat malaman po natin, we have to discuss it. We have here the President of the
Whether we
Philippines.
like it or not, we have to understand history. It's really nobody's fault. Walang may kasalanan dito, because had we not been conquered by a colonial, then probably we would be all Muslims in this country. Ang problema, pinasok tayo ng kolonya just like the Middle East. Look at the Middle East. there were much, there is no peace at all since time immemorial when the colonials were there until now. Yan ang problema because it was divided arbitrarily without consulting the secret, the oil. Yun ang problema. And use the resources of that country and the fat of the land to reach or arrive now in the present level of industrialization. Anywhere you look in this world, even the mic in front of me, and the glass of water, and the paper that I will be reading, or I may not, lahat yan, it's oil. It's oil, they're outside. See, many vehicles produced by even the primitive lathe machines. And that is a product of an equipment or machine using oil. Pag walang oil, wala naman tayong ilaw. Well, we are using, originally Davao was utilizing bunker oil. So yan ang ano dyan. It's really the resources. Eventually, it's geopolitics. China, for all of its whatever posturing there, is also interested in oil. So lahat yan because it fuels industrialization. Ang problema dito is the Western countries, the democracies, they have reached this height of industrialization. Now we are trying to catch up. But the Philippines and the rest could not because mataas na sila. And so it created a monster in the lives of the people on earth. And that is the destruction of environment. And puts into jeopardy the next generation. Maghirap yan sila. I don't know how they would endure it, but they will suffer if we do not correct it now. Ako, I'm praying to God that somehow this generation of ours can do something about it. We will all die. We will just disappear from this planet as quietly as we came in. Ang problema yung mga anak natin. How do one branch of my family, yung daughter-in-law ko, sila. Tatay niya is Tausog. Nanay si Reggie, Maranao. O yung mga pamilya ko, may moro ako na linya, may moro ako na Muslim and Christian. And that seems to be a problem. Also. Kaya ang mahirap, take it on a larger, bigger picture, it is really what's happening. What we do now. Tayo nandito, and Mindanao.
Okay.
Bigger picture, it is really what's happening. What we do now.
Ito na talaga, no? Nakita na rin, pinag-declare ni President Duterte, no? Na ang root cause talaga, ang pinag-aagawan talaga ng China is yung natural resources, yung oil o yung fuel talaga sa area. Kaya nga, because for all we know, na yung fuel talaga sa dito sa most industrialized countries, maubos na ito. And so, they are trying to source out kung saan ba the new source of oil in the future. Kaya nga nakita pa rin na nandoon ito sa West Philippine Sea. Kaya nga ang China, their goal of China is to rule the world. Kaya nga gusto sa China na sila talaga ang mag-rule in one world government. And that is through what we call as ito talaga yung what we call as the one world government. And that's because of the communist China, communist party of China. So, itong Communist Party of China talaga, controls. Ito ang nag-control ng operations sa buong mundo. Ito nga. So, if we have to reflect, no? Parang sort of a summary. Ano ba ang nangyari? During the time of Babylon, gusto naman sa Babylon Empire na sila talaga ang mag-govern sa buong mundo. Kaya nga, hindi papayag ang Panginoon. So, during the time, nabigo talaga ang Babylonian Empire. And then, another one is, after that, then it follows the Persian Empire. Yung Babylonia is sa Mesopotamia, now is Iraq. And then the Persian Empire, that's Iran, no? Gusto naman silang world government. Sila'y mag-rule entire the world. Hindi papayag ang Panginoon. Then, after that, it was conquered. The Persian Empire conquered with the Greek Empire. Ang Greek Empire through Alexander the Great want to rule the world. Bigo pa rin And finally, yung sa Roman Empire talaga. Kaya nga, Daniel chapter 2 verse 44, may prophecy na sa prophet Daniel na during that final empire talaga na pinakamalaking empire, then the Lord will establish His kingdom on earth. Naging totoo. And that's the Roman Empire. Hindi naman bigo pa rin sa world government. Then, here comes the German, no? Germany, through Hitler. Gusto naman siya na magkaroon ng world government. Kaya nga, siya nag-lead sa Second World War. Gusto man siya maging Panginoon bigo pa rin ang United States, ang Russia pa rin. Kaya nga, nandoon pa rin ang Communist Party of Russia 1917. Kaya nga, Mother Mary appeared at Kovada area na kailangang i-consecrate ang Russia. Kapag hindi consecrate, then the world will be under communism. Naging totoo naman thanks for the action of Pope John Paul II, March 25, no? 19. So, that's 7 years after, 1991, collapse ang communism sa Russia. And so, ano nangyari? Hindi na natuloy yung world governance na role, goal ng Russia. Ang Amerika naman sa New World Order ang Amerika, they want to do it. Kaya nga, parang maging totoo na si Trump, President Trump, he issued that policy na America first. Ano bang emphasis? Ano ba ang implication ng America first? Ibig sabihin na ito na sila talaga ang superpower. They want to rule the whole world. Hindi pa nila kumplito talaga ang accomplishment nila sa First World War, Second World War, kahit ang United Nations Organization ay nandoon pa rin sa kanilang teritoryo, yung office sa New York. Gusto pa rin sila na napakalakas na world governance talaga. Alam ba natin na ang program ng New World Order, abolish naman Ang mga sovereign states, wala na ito. Kaya nga, there will be only one world government. Yan ang program ng New World Order. Yung mga sovereign states, mawala na ito. Yan, if bigyan ng pagkakataon. And then, ano pa rin eh? On the other hand, the Communist Party of China is doing their job. Kaya nga ang China, being the top number 1 sa population of the world, 1.4, ano naman? Kasing laki na lang sa territory sa United States of America ang China. Anong balak nila? They want to rule the entire world through that one world government under the dictate of the Communist Party of China. Alam ba ninyo na may tensyon na sa Russia at China? Yes, they are twin. And yet, ang China expanding, invading Australia, then it's not only invading na, annexing na, touching the territory of India, kaya conflict na ito. And then, dito naman sa archipelagic areas of Philippines, Indonesia, Malaysia, Vietnam, yung mga neighboring countries sa Southeast Asia, ang pinag-extend naman is not naman the land area dahil dagat ito eh. So kaya nga ang pinaggamit nila is base 9 line. I will discuss pa natin ito. So itong pinabasihan po nila yung South China Sea, yung area sa karagatan. And we will be discussing the precepts of international law as firstly introduced by Hugos Grocio. Now, ito talaga. Pero Hammurabi naman ang pinaka-origin nito. At any rate, we'll be discussing it. No? So, ano talaga? Bakit na involved ang lahat ng mga bansa? Because it has proven that China violates the treaty, violates the international law sa karagatan. Mayroon rin treaty. And the decision rests in the Philippines. Because while Philippines won the case as against China, insofar as the issue itong sa West Philippine Sea, of which they encroached, sila naman, misud niya ng dapita. Then, naa sa mga kamot sa Pilipinas. And so, we will be, para makuha pa rin natin, ano talaga yung South China Sea documentary? Let's see, South China Sea documentary. Bakit gusto pa rin nila itong South China Sea? Ito talaga. This is China. Ito ang South, no? North, South. Ito. Then, sa Philippines naman, ito ang Philippines. East, West. So, ito ang Scarborough Shoal. Okay? Scarborough Shoal. Mayroon tayong 200 exclusive economic zone sa Pilipinas. Ang ito even within the territorial jurisdiction of the Philippines, nag-expand ang China. Ito. Kanya, no? Ito nangyari. Hanggang Spratly Islands, which is within the Philippines, ito. Pinag-expand. So kaya nga, sa Vietnam, then touching na sa Malaysia dito, and then Philippines, Taiwan, ito, expand pa rin So kaya nga, even to Japan area. So ito ang tingnan po natin.
And Vietnam. There are disputes concerning both the Spratly and the Paracel Islands, as well as maritime boundaries in the Gulf of Tonkin and elsewhere.
there is a further dispute in the waters near the Indonesian Natuna Islands. According to the World Bank, the South China Sea holds proven oil reserves of at least 7 billion barrels and an estimated 900 trillion cubic feet of natural gas, which offer tremendous economic opportunity for smaller nations like Malaysia, the Philippines, and Vietnam, and energy security for China's large, growing economy. As much as 50% of global oil tanker shipments pass through the South China Sea, which sees 3 times more tanker traffic than the Suez Canal and more than 5 times that of the Panama Canal, making the waters one of the world's busiest international sea lanes. More than half of the world's top 10 shipping ports are also located in and around the South China Sea. The region has also seen increased militarization in response to China's burgeoning power, raising the stakes of a potential armed conflict and making disputes more difficult to resolve. Vietnam and Malaysia have led regional military buildups and increased arms trade with countries like Russia and India, while the Philippines doubled its defense budget in 2011 and pledged 5-year joint military exercises with the United States. The Philippines also embarked on a modernization program costing roughly $1 billion that will rely heavily on U.S. sales of coastal patrol boats and potentially fighter jets. Experts say that the United States faces a dilemma and tough balancing act in the region, as some countries in ASEAN would like it to play a more forceful role to counter what they see as a greater Chinese assertiveness, while others want to see less U.S. involvement. The priority on all sides should be to avoid military conflict. Even as China spars with its Southeast Asian neighbors, it is becoming the largest trading partner and one of the biggest direct investors of most Southeast Asian states since an ASEAN-China Free Trade Area came into effect.
The Philippines began exploring the areas west of Calauan for oil in 1970. Exploration in the area began in Reed Bank in 1976. Gas was discovered following the drilling of a well. However, China's complaints halted the exploration. The 9-dotted line was originally a boundary and 11-dotted line first indicated by the then Kuomintang government of the Republic of China in 1947 for its claims to the South China Sea. After, the Communist Party of China took over mainland China and formed the People's Republic of China in 1949. The line was adopted as the well. However, China's complaints halted the exploration. The 9-dotted line was originally a boundary and 11-dotted line first in...
Okay, ito talaga, Spratly Islands. Ito. So we have here the Philippines. So within na ito, no? Yung exclusive economic zone. So kaya nga na-encroach talaga yung China, no? Dito. Okay? So, let's proceed.
Indicated by the then Kuomintang government of the Republic of China in 1947 for its claims to the South China Sea. After, the Communist Party of China took over mainland China and formed the People's Republic of China in 1949. The line was adopted as endorsed by Zhou Enlai. In the 1970s, however, the Philippines, Malaysia and other countries began referring to the Spratly Islands as included in their own territory. On the 11th of June 1978, President Ferdinand Marcos of the Philippines issued Presidential Decree No. 1596, declaring the Spratly Islands referred to therein as the Calayan Island Group as Philippine territory. China's audacious and clumsy 9-dash line claimed to about 85% of the South China Sea, and other claims further north in the East China Sea have come with 7 now infamous island building projects. Despite claims that none have any military applications, satellite images of the 3,100-meter airfields it has constructed on some of the islands show they have been used by fighter jets and long-range survey drones and aircraft, and anti-ship missile batteries have been established. This frantic activity, which a U.S. admiral likened to the creation of a great wall of sand, has been taking place on obscure outcroppings with names such as Fiery Cross Reef, known as Yongshu Reef by the Chinese, Kajatingan Reef by the Filipinos, and Da Cho That by the Vietnamese. Its armada of vessels has put Beijing at serious odds with Vietnam, Brunei, Malaysia, Japan and South Korea, which all have claims that overlap with those of China.
But it is the doughty, impoverished Philippines which has asked the International Court for a ruling on China's claim to shoals in reefs that are 6 times closer to Manila than they are to the Chinese mainland, and where the Chinese Coast Guard has used intimidation and sometimes forced to expel Filipino fishermen who have used rickety skiffs to harvest the surrounding waters for centuries. Claiming that it has a historic right to everything that it is claiming, China has already rejected the court's jurisdiction to hear the David and Goliath case. Still, in preparation for a ruling that it has said it won't respect, and which almost every maritime law expert who is not Chinese reckons it will lose, it has gone on a loud diplomatic offensive, trying to get countries as far away as Africa, where it has huge investments, to say that it is in the right. The Trudeau government, which badly wants to increase trade with China, has tried to say as little as possible about the dispute, but as a trading nation with much at stake elsewhere in Asia, and many of its traditional partners agitated by Beijing's actions, Ottawa's fence-sitting may at some point become untenable. It will be expected to say more than that it wants the matter resolved peacefully. Beijing's scheme seems to be about turning the South China Sea and a fair bit of the East China Sea into lakes where it controls navigation, the rich fisheries, and what are believed to be large oil and gas deposits. To put teeth in its claim, China has rapidly ramped up military spending. India, Australia, Indonesia, Vietnam, Japan and the Philippines, with what little money it has, have also gone on spending sprees. James, a defense and security intelligence analyst firm, calculates that military budgets across the region will increase from $435 billion in 2015 to $533 billion in 2020.
There's growing concern that tensions over territorial disputes in the South China Sea could escalate into a military confrontation between China and its neighbors. A confrontation, many argue, that would inexorably draw in the United States. Bonnie Glaser, a leading figure on U.S.-China relations, warned this April that the risk of conflict in the South China Sea is significant and cites 3 scenarios that could compel a U.S. military response. 1. A clash stemming from U.S. military operations within China's exclusive economic zone that provokes an armed Chinese response. 2. Conflict between China and the Philippines over natural gas deposits. And 3.
Okay.
Dispute.
So, ano talaga ang sinabi? Yung natural gas. Dalawa ito eh. Dalawa itong natural resources, yung oil at saka yung natural gas. Ano ba talaga ito? According to the World Bank report, at least 11 billion barrels of oil. At least 11 billion barrels of oil, with estimated 190 trillion feet of natural gas, supposedly good for the following countries: Philippines, Vietnam, and Malaysia. Because ito talaga eh. Okay? So, we have here the Philippines, no? Ito. Then we have here the Vietnam, saka Malaysia. However, pinag-agawan naman sa China eh. Malaking bansa talaga ang the greater power eh. Sila naman take advantage eh. So, nakita naman, the peasant talaga, yung mga countries of the world, no? Parang they were just observing naman. But there is time for all. Kaya nga, what is now shocking, no? Ano ba ang shocking reason why China, bakit ang China is, ang mga islands sa South China Sea, they are building islands eh. Bakit ba? Ano ang mga shocking reasons? Would it be their best basis for the business of the basis controlling entire world? Yan ba ang kanilang nasa sa isip?
I'm going to teach you about brain.
Ito talaga. So, tingnan po natin na ang gusto pa rin nila eh. So, in other words, ang China talaga is more than competing the United States of America.
and heart coherence.
So-
and with this knowledge,
Ito
what if you
talaga.
could strengthen
And,
Which are both symbolically
it's,
and geographically.
Okay, so let's
Who
focus now
doesn't dream
on
of basking in the morning
China.
sun while water splashes your feet as you read Paulo Coelho while sipping some pina colada on your private island? Seems like China lives by this idea. Not holidaying on a beach, but owning an island all to themselves. No harm done, right? After all, what could be wrong with having an island? Many countries own islands, and there are many others who are just islands in themselves. Well, owning an island is one thing, but creating one on the sea sounds weird and fishy. Let's start with the background of country borders here, because, hello, a border can change the course of water. Well, that was a joke, and I guess a bad one. Anyway, according to the UN Law of Seas, a country's territorial borders extend 200 nautical miles from its shore, and this area is called the country's exclusive economic zone.
Okay. Nakuha na tayo, no? So, ito
200 nautical miles from its shore, and this
So, ito ang 200 nautical miles for the Philippines. Ito nautical miles of the Philippines. So, kaya nga, another 200 nautical miles, dito pa rin. Another for the other country, 200 nautical miles, doon pa rin. So, yan talaga, no? Exclusive economic zone. Kaya nga, nag-encroach ang China doon sa Philippines. Ito talaga ang naging issue.
This area is called the country's exclusive economic zone. Going by this, any natural resources found in the EEZ area belongs to the country only. Okay, now any
Okay. So, ano ibig sabihin? Ano ang mga economic resources or natural resources which belongs to the exclusive economic zone? Kaya nga, yung agaw naman sa China, the oil it belongs to the Philippines talaga. Kaya nga, we fought it, no, sa international court. Nanalo po tayo. But China did not pay respect. Yan ang nangyari. And so let's proceed. Ano ba ang desisyon sa mga bansa sa buong daigdig?
area that doesn't fall in any country's EEZ is termed as international waters, which is open to all. Most countries follow this rule, except China, of course. Well, have historical claims to fall in any country's EEZ is termed as international waters, which is open.
Okay. So, ito talaga, mayroong international waters, no? Mayroong international waters. Ang nangyari, pinag-angkin talaga sa China. They want to claim everything. So, just imagine here, no? We have here. Okay. We have the map. Nandoon pa ito Parang boundary ito sa mga, ito Philippines, then Malaysia, Indonesia, Vietnam, ito talaga. Parang inaangkin naman lahat ito sa China. And so, it should be international ownership. No state can own beyond the 200 exclusive economic zone. Inangkin talaga sa China. Ano namang mangyari? The rights of the nations. Mayroong treaty, international agreement. That treaty forms part of the international law. China did not pay respect. Yan ang nangyari. So, in other words, ito talaga pinag-expand sa kanilang territory, and above all, nag-expand sila sa karagatan talaga. Expanding karagatan talaga, they violate the international maritime law. Yan ang root cause talaga. And so proceed.
Open to all. Most countries follow this rule, except China, of course. Well, they believe they have historical claims and have marked their border vaguely by the 9-dash line.
Now, this historic border takes about 90% of the South China Sea. You can well understand that this wasn't well received by other countries. This is a valuable trade passage and fishing ground for all nations, Malaysia, Vietnam, and the Philippines. After all, it is incredibly rich in natural resources, replete.
Okay. Ano bang reason sa China? They claim they have their historical right. Oh, sabi naman sa previous nga mga empires o kingdoms sa kanila, nandoon pa rin yung the area is owned by China. Kaya nga nine dash line, no? Ito nine dash line, parang sa kanila na. Yan ang pinagsabihan. But take note, all the nations are bound by the international treaty. Any law, municipal law, or the law of that state is subordinate naman sa international agreement. Kaya nga, except ang China lang ang did not pay respect to the international law affecting the archipelagic areas or the maritime, itong sa karagatan talaga. Iyan ang real situation. Kaya countries of the world are deeply touched by the violation of China with proven decision of the International Court in favor of the Philippines, of which ang China ay hindi nag-respect. So, yan talaga ang pinaka-root cause.
With 11 billion barrels of oil, 190 trillion cubic feet of natural gas, and over 10
Okay. So, ito, 11 billion barrels, no? Ito talaga.
of oil, 100
So, 11 billion of barrels of oil, and then 190 trillion feet of natural gas. Ito. That's within naman sa Philippine area. Ito talaga, no? And then, yan ang pinag-aagawan. And then besides that, we have that 10% naman eh.
190 trillion cubic feet of natural gas and over 10% of the world's fisheries.
Okay. So 10% of the world's fisheries. So itong mga fishery area, no? Affected ang neighboring nations, ang Japan, Philippines, Malaysia, etc. Pinag-exclusive na ito sa China. So, yan ang nakita sa mga nations of the world that China is making themselves as selfish as they are. They want to own, even in violation to international law. Yan ang nangyari.
Another important thing is that 30% of world trade flows through this passage of the South China Sea. Claiming them entirely obviously meant trouble with the neighbors.
Okay.
Feet of natural gas and over 10% of the world's fisheries. Another important thing is that 30% of world trade flows through this passage of the South China Sea.
Okay. Ano? 30%, no? 30% of
And over 10% of the
Okay.
world's fisheries.
10% sa
Another
world's
important thing
fisheries.
is that 30% of world trade flows through this
30% of global shipping trade. Imagdaan po dito sa international sea. Paano magdaan naman na pinag-claim na sa China? So, affected talaga ang international o global shipping trade. Nagawa pa sila ng sariling isla. Yan, affected adversely naman talaga. So kaya nga, protest na. France, ang Australia, lahat ng mga countries, except mayroong 52 ng mga countries. Mostly, ang Muslim countries ay supporting China. 52 ng mga countries. So all others, nandoon pa rin sa America, United States, Philippines with America naman. Japan, iba pang mga India, all other countries. So, marami tayong ipapresent na dito, no? So, ito talaga ang pinaka-root cause at the deep
Passage of the
facts.
South China Sea. Claiming them entirely obviously meant trouble with the neighbors. Next, we come to the Spratly Islands, a cluster of barely inhabited and remote islands which are both symbolically and geographically the heart of the South China Sea. They're claimed by Vietnam, China, Malaysia, and the Philippines. The important point here is that any country that can claim these islands will be in a position to extend their EEZ to include a large chunk of surrounding waters. Though all these countries have created ports and buildings on these small islands to claim their portion, China believes the Spratly Islands belong to them. You guessed it, didn't you? This is exactly where the roots of this dispute are hidden, but the matter escalated rather quickly from here. China has been actively directing their efforts towards building man-made bases over some of the Spratly Islands in the South China Sea since 2014. This doesn't sound so good. In March 2017, the Center for Strategic and International Studies confirmed the completion of a Chinese man-made island named as the Fiery Cross Island. The interesting thing is that it didn't even exist 2 years ago. Wow! It used to be nothing more than a mass of rocks and coral reef. Guess how it looks now? This 1 square mile island is host to a 10,000-foot airstrip, basketball and tennis courts, running tracks, buildings, and whatnot. That's China for you. The U.S. estimates that China has added 3,200 acres of land on 7 features over the past 3 years. Now that is shocking. They have used reefs and rock to their advantage for constructing these islands. They have created the base by piling up sand on the reef, adding a thick layer of rocks to it, and then a layer of cement to the first 2. They basically used the principle used by Dubai to create Palm Islands. Smart, we should say. But where did the enormous amounts of sand come from that was required for these islands? Well, they ground the materials on seabed and turned it into fine sand. You guessed it right. They were slammed for causing irreparable harm to the marine environment. Sad, but we gotta focus on something else. They can create land out of nowhere, that too on sea. But that is not the scary bit. Wait for it. According to China, the islands are being created for navigation purposes, and the lighthouses erected on them will help ships to know their way around the corals. How noble! Once you are ready to ditch those awestruck expressions that made their way to your face after hearing about China's accomplishment, know that it isn't all positive. While these islands have navigational benefits, many of them are now evidently military bases. Can you believe that? The Fiery Cross Island itself is replete with an advanced rape.
Okay. So, ito na, no? Nakita na po natin, no? So, ano ba talaga, no? Ano ba ang pinakalayunin ng China? So, we have presented to you and let us stand for truth. Isla sa West Philippine Sea, bantay sarado ng Chinese vessels. Ito, ha? Ano ba ang what is the stand of the Philippine nation? Tingnan po natin, no? Ano po ang pinaka dulo, that's the root cause talaga sa conflict sa whole world. And the Philippine nation, this country is deeply involved, no? Tayo talaga ang pinakasentro sa issue, and the Philippine nation has to stand, and that would affect the world peace talaga. Okay? So, ito, no? Just imagine naman ito naman ng and if we have to look backward, no? This world war to happen, the Third World War. Ang question naman is, para pa ito? The result would result sa heaven or sa hell ang result? That's the point, no? Yan talaga. So we have to see this stand for truth, isla sa Pilipinas. Ano ba? Ano ba ang stand ng mga Filipinos at the Philippine government insofar as the West Philippine Sea? Tingnan po natin, no? Ito ang West Philippine
Pero hanggang ngayon, ang Pag-asa Island na pagmamayari ng Pilipinas ay napapaligiran pa rin ng paramilitary o militia vessels ng China. Binalaan ng gobyerno na mayroon pa rin Chinese militia vessels na nakapalibot sa Pag-asa Island.
China has been deploying dozens, sometimes up to 100, militia vessels from nearby Subi Reef to keep an eye on Philippine operations at Pag-asa, sometimes prevent vessels from getting to Pag-asa, and as a result, the AFP's planned upgrade work to fix the runway and build a beaching ramp, none of that has really moved forward much. For over a year now, it's been delayed.
Ang mga militia o paramilitary vessels na ito ay civilian boats ng China na nakabantay sa mga kilos sa pinag-aagawang South China Sea. Sa satellite image na ito, kitang-kitang napapaligiran pa rin ng maraming bangka ang Pag-asa Island. Para saan nga ba ang mga bangkang ito? Ginagamit daw ng China ang militia bilang mata at tenga sa karagatan. Nang kunan ng komento si Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana, kinumpirma niya na may presence nga ng Chinese vessels malapit sa Pag-asa Island. Intermittent o pasulput-sulput daw ang mga ito at nag-iiba ang bilang. Sinubukan naming makapanayam si Lorenzana at ang Armed Forces of the Philippines, pero hindi raw muna sila magkokomento sa ngayon. Dati nang nag-file ng ilang diplomatic protest ang Pilipinas laban sa China dahil sa pag-aaligid ng mga bangkang Chino sa Pag-asa Island.
I was just reminding people that nothing has changed. Since December 2018, nothing has changed. This deployment continues.
Para kay dating Supreme Court Senior Associate Justice Antonio Carpio, malinaw ang mensahe ng China dito.
So what they've been doing is staying there loitering, telling us that this is not our territory, this is not Philippine territorial sea. They're actually asserting that they own it. And that is violating our constitution because that's our territorial sea, violating international law.
Dapat din daw matigil na ito bago pa lumala at sabihin ng China na hindi tayo tumututol sa actions nila.
At the very least, we should protest. We should tell our Navy to do something about it because that's our territorial sea. The President said we can patrol our territorial sea, exercise our sovereignty.
Sabi ni Carpio, bukod sa diplomatic protest, ay may kapangyarihan ng Philippine Navy na paalisin ang mga bangka ng China kung ipag-uutos ni President Rodrigo Duterte. Sinang-ayunan ito ni Polly.
When countries stand up forcefully, generally the Chinese back off.
Malaki din daw ang epekto ng pag-alis ng Pilipinas sa Visiting Forces Agreement with the United States.
It sends a message to third states that we have the support of the U.S. Now that we have canceled that, then that kind of message is gone. We cannot send that kind of message anymore, especially to China.
Dapat din daw papanugitin ng China sa ganitong klase ng behavior sa pinag-aagawang karagatan.
China has to pay a diplomatic, a reputational, even an economic cost for this behavior, in the same way that the Russians had to pay a huge cost for their aggression in the Ukraine. It's crazy that the Chinese get to do this, and we're not even supposed to talk about it.
As Filipinos, we should watch how the government will respond to these developments.
Okay. So, klarong-klaro na, no? It's very clear, no? Now, let us digest the facts. Yung West Philippine Sea, West ito insofar as the Philippines is concerned, no? But insofar as the area is concerned, West Philippine Sea, dahil East ito, West. But insofar as China, South ito. And so, bakit tinawag ito ng West Philippine Sea? No? This West Philippine Sea is the official designation by the Philippine government of the eastern parts of the South China Sea, which are included in the Philippines' exclusive economic zone. Ito, included ito sa EEZ, exclusive economic zone within the Philippines. Then the term is also sometimes, although incorrectly used to refer to the South China Sea as a whole, which is wrong. Because by saying South China Sea, they claim those areas which form part of the exclusive economic zone of the Philippines. Kaya nga, we stand the West Philippine Sea. within the EEZ, Exclusive Economic Zone. 200 ito, miles, no? Iyan ang within sa EEZ sa Philippines. So, ang background po ito, the first use of the term West Philippine Sea by the Philippine government was as early as 2011 during the administration of then-President Benigno Aquino III. So, ang pangalan na ito was intended as symbolic gesture to dispute the China's sovereignty claim over the whole South China Sea. So, para badlungon ang China, no? You are wrong, China. Do not claim what is owned by the Philippines. Yan. In September 2012, ang Philippine government announced that it would start using the name to refer to waters west of the Philippines as West Philippine Sea. So, ito talaga sa 2012, no? Pinagsimula na. Then, that forms part, no? And it was in 2012. And, of course, as Philippine West Sea in government maps and also in other forms of communication and other documents. Now, on January 22, 2013, ano ba ang nangyari? The Philippines initiated international arbitration. Yan. Pinag-official na, no? Yung legal action sa Philippines against the People's Republic of China regarding the territorial and maritime dispute in the South China Sea. Parang ma-resolve ito Sino ba ang may-ari? We filed a case. And dito talaga as against the China sa claim nila sa dispute ng South China Sea. It was known as the West Philippine Sea in Manila. So, ang question pa rin, that would involve also the Spratly Islands. Who owns the Spratly Islands? Take note, yung mga lugar na ito, punong-puno sa oil Plus, may natural gas pa. So, yan ang the next source of oil in the future for a millennium. Hindi pa natat sila ang Surigao. So, ano ba? Yung Spratly Islands is located off the coast of the Philippines and Malaysia. So, this region, itong region talaga, is claimed by both of these nations, no? So, ang nag-claim po to sa Spratly Islands, first ang Philippines. Then, ningagaw naman ang China. Then, ang Vietnam naman. Ang Brunei naman at saka ang Taiwan 5 countries na gustong magkapag-may-ari talaga ng Spratly Islands. The dispute, ito talaga, despite talaga sa political dilemma, synonymous with them, ang general American public is mostly unaware that these islands, of course, no? But nevertheless, ano ba nangyari? More than 750 reefs and islands has been claimed by 5 different countries. Mayroong more than 700 reefs and islands talaga. And then, it has been the center of political disputes. Naging sentro po ito sa political disputes. Kaya sabi kay President Rua Digong Duterte naman, that is geopolitics. Ano ba ang geopolitics? Geography, politics. That's the power of the government, political power to expand territorial claim. Kaya nga. And then, it started pa since 1900, no? And that Spratly Islands located off the coast of the Philippines and Malaysia. So parang championship talaga yung Philippines and Malaysia kung sino talaga makapag-may-ari ng Spratly Islands. And this region has been claimed by both of these nations. Nag-involve naman ang China, ang Vietnam, ang Brunei at saka yung Taiwan. So despite the political dilemma, ito talaga, no? Yan ang nangyari. And then combined, they barely have, itong ipag-combine na ito, mayroong 4 square kilometers of land, no? Spread out in over 450,000 square kilometers of sea. No? So, yan, 450,000 square kilometers of sea. So, kaya ang Spratly Islands became, no? Ito talaga. Because that most success and experience with maintaining marine ecosystems. So, ang Philippines ay pinagpaboran talaga, no? Because it belongs to the exclusive economic zone, ang Spratly Islands. So, ano naman ang ito? This is due to the islands rich as marine ecosystems. So, itong Spratly Islands, yung within the West Philippine Sea, rich talaga sa marine ecosystem, rich talaga sa gas and oil deposits, an ideal location sa military strategies. So that's within the Philippines. That's the very reason bakit tagal na tagal talaga yung mga American mga kaymanan nila sa panggubat, no? Philippine US bases. That's because of that area. May balak talaga eh. Ano ba? We brought the issue sa International Court, sa Permanent Court of Arbitration. So, PCA. Kaya sa 2016, mayroong ruling ang ang Permanent Court of Arbitration, no? PCA. So, ano ba ang ruling? On October 29, 2015, the Arbitral Tribunal ruled that it has jurisdiction over the case. The first naman if ang Permanent Court of Arbitration mo take cognizance o jurisdiction of the case, then well and good, no? Kaya nga nanalo rin ang Philippines sa first attempt. That's October 29 that it ruled that mayroong jurisdiction. Kaya nga, bakit ba ang mga issue talaga will be resolved by bloody na we can do it by the power of the pen? Yan ang ginawa ng mga Pilipino. Kaya nga, by the power of the law. Ito talaga. That's in 2015, October 29. Kaya nga, last July 12, 2016, the following year, ang Permanent Court of Arbitration ruled in favor of the Philippines. Congratulations. It clarified that it would not rule on any question of sovereignty over an land territory. Hindi the decision naman sa Permanent Court of Arbitration, hindi sila matouch sa question of sovereignty sa land territory, no? And would not delimit any maritime boundary between the parties. Ang mahalaga naman itong ruling that the tribunal ruled that China, ito ang pinaka-importante, that China has no historical rights based in the 9-dash line map. Yan. Because ang defense naman ng China, sa mapa po ito nila, mayroon silang tinawag na historical rights na mayroong 9-dash line map. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Kaya nga, buong-buo naman Yan ang historical nila. That was the issue of the case. Main issue of the case. Mayroon ba silang historical right to support their claim na yung 9-dash line map? Kaya nga 9-dash line map, it encroaches the 200 exclusive economic zone, no? 200 nautical mile exclusive economic zone sa Philippines. ruling naman, wala kayo, China. You do not have that historical right. Kaya nga, you cannot assert your 9-dash line map. So, give way kayo, pay respect to the Philippines. Kaya nga yung Spratly, yung ibang mga Carboros Shoal, talaga yung mga neighboring islands, no? Scarborough Shoal, no? At saka yung Kalayaan Island, no? Group. At iba pang mga islets talaga belong to the Philippines. So, nanalo tayo. Ano ba? The legal scope. The maritime areas on the western side of the Philippine archipelago are hereby named as the West Philippine Sea. Ito. And then these areas include the Luzon Sea. Ito, sa Luzon Sea. Okay. Luzon Sea, kaya nga ang China ito eh. Okay, Batanes. Included na ito. And then, ano ba? As well as the waters around within the adjacent to the Kalayaan Island Group. Mayroon tayong Kalayaan Island Group and Baho de Masinloc, also known as the Scarborough Shoal. So, parang ang uban ay maglisod pag-pronounce, no? Scarborough Shoal, no? So, ito talaga ang within the Philippines. Kaya nga, very mysterious areas ito, no? Take note, yung natural gas, yung gas, at saka yung oil, nandoon pa rin. Napakalaking deposit talaga. So, in Philippine law, the West Philippine Sea refers to only portions of the South China Sea, particularly the parts of the sea which the Philippine government claims, no, to be part of the country's exclusive economic zone. So, ang conflict na ito sa 200 nautical mile exclusive economic zone sa Philippines was favored, no, by the Permanent Court of Arbitration as against China. So, yan ang nangyari. And so the naming of the area became official through the Administrative Order number 29 issued by then President Benigno Aquino III on September 5, 2012. Malaga talaga mga kaibigan. It's very important for us to know the basis, the legal basis, because should the World War III happen, part of the history talaga within the area of the Philippines talaga. So, very important po ito. And then, September 5, 2012. No? And the order also cites presidential decree. Mayroon ng presidential decree si President Marcos, number 1599, which was issued in 1978. Panahon pa ni President Ferdinand Idrelin Marcos. Ano ba? Sa 1978, during the tenure ni President Ferdinand Marcos, which established the Philippine Exclusive Economic Zone. So, ito talaga, as well as the Republic Act number 9522 or the Baselines Law, which was enacted into law in 2009 during the administration of then President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, which delineated the baselines of the Philippine archipelago. So, ganda naman dahil bawat president may legal contribution sila para ma-define talaga yung buong-buo na territory sa Philippines. From Marcos, nag-issue siya ng presidential decree. Ikang Gloria Arroyo, mayroon pa rin siyang na-issue pa rin, no? Of course, yung Republic Act 9522 ng baseline law na in 2009, no? Ito talaga. Otherwise known as which delineates the baselines of the Philippine archipelago. So, yung area sa Philippine archipelago. Now, the administrative order asserts the Philippine claim over its exclusive economic zone in South China Sea, which conveys the Philippine government's position that it was or it has a sovereign rights under the 1982 United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea. Ito na talaga pinag-invoke na sa Philippine government. Mayroong talagang mayroong international mayroong treaty talaga eh. Mayroong international law that basis which was adopted in 1982, no? Itong United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea. So, yung on clause, no? Ito talaga, no? Over the West Philippine Sea area and inherent power and right to designate its maritime areas with appropriate nomenclature for purposes of the national mapping system. So, ang pinagbasihan po ng Philippine government ay itong 1982 United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea. Kaya nga, it was made as the basis for the Philippines. International law na ito eh. There is no exact demarcation for the area in the South China Sea which forms the West Philippine Sea. So, ano ba ang usage? Ano bang kagamitan, no? Unsa may gigamitan ni adtong mga dokumento? Under the Administrative Order number 29, the National Mapping and Resource Information Authority, itong talagang agency of the government, is mandated to use the designation West Philippine Sea in maps. So kaya nga sa mga mapa na, ipinagprinted na ang pangalan na West Philippine Sea sa mga mapa and produced and published by the government agency. So other government agencies are also required, no, na gamitin po nila ito. The term to popularize the use of the name domestically and internationally. So official to, West Philippine Sea. West Philippine Sea. Ito, West Philippine Sea. So para hindi maagaw sa China na pangalan nilang South China Sea. Kaya nga, separate ang inyo South China, separate ang West Philippine Sea. Huwag ninyong agawin. Yan. Kaya nga, the wealth, the natural, the resources, the wealth nandoon sa West Philippine Sea. And so, ito talaga ang usage. So, that's the substantial cause na pag mayroong Third World War, ang pinagagawa naman ang wealth naman, number 1. Number 2, kaunti na itong 10% sa world's fishing area, no? At saka yung 30% shipping global trade, part na ito. Pero ang pinaka-importante, yung oil at saka yung gas in the future within the exclusive, the 200 nautical mile exclusive economic zone sa Philippine Sea, West Philippine Sea. So economic, bakit economic zone? Back up ito sa ekonomiya ng Pilipinas. This country, Philippines, is the richest country. Hindi pa tayo nag-mention sa ibang mga wealth Yan lang portion, whole world Third World War, because they know ano talaga ang pinaka-treasure sa Philippines. Yan lang ang attracting point. Marami pa. Surigao, Deuterium, at iba pa. So, let's now proceed. the discussion na sa procedural cause. Bakit ba? Bakit ba na kinakailangan yung Third World War? We have the formula on Maine. Ano ba ang Maine? Mayroong 1, 2, 3, 4, apat na words. Di bakit mayroong Third World War? Number 1 is militarization. Preparado na all the nations of the world. Kapag mayroong military, established na, that's for war. That's for war. Kapag mayroong water, ang purpose ng water is inumin na. Tangad nito ha, pang anti high blood. Tangad. So, pag may water, no? So, para inumin natin Ipag military, that's for attack at the pretense of defense. So, that's for war talaga. Militarization. Pangalawa is alliance. Kapag walang alliance, walang world war. Kaya nga, bakit man ang Iran versus US, Iraq versus US, etc. nag-involve ba ng world war? Wala. Dalawa lang dahil, Dahil hindi nag-involve alliance. Hindi nag-participate ang alliance. So, kapag mag-participate ang alliance, yan involved na ang world war. Mayroon bang alliance ngayon? Yes! Ready na Preparado na bang militarization? Yes! Handang-handa na. We will be discussing lahat ng mga makinarya sa gubat, sa gira. Ready na. Ang alliance naman sa Amerika versus China. Ang alliance sa Amerika, we have Australia, Great Britain, we have Japan, we have all other countries of the world. All other countries of the world. On the other hand, ang Philippines na doon pa rin sa Amerika And then, against na sa China. But, mayroong drama pa ito. That's divine will, divine guidance. As against China. Ang China is bago na. May signatory na, supporting states Nag-alliance na. Just for this day mayroong nag-back up na 52 countries. Mostly naman Iran, Iraq, etc. yung mga Muslim countries naman in favor of China. So kapag mag-alliance, ito nga except Switzerland, kay neutral country po ito. So yan ang alliance. At pangtatlong reason, procedural cause na Third World War is yung imperialism. Ano bang imperialism? Ang Amerika gusto na one world government. Sila ang mag-rule. Imperial government talaga. Ang China man gusto naman sila So kaya nga yung imperialism talaga is very cause. Kaya ang role, ang goal po nila ang mga alliances gustong mag-back up dahil they would benefit naman out of the output of the war. Maka-benefit pa rin sila So yan ang mangyari. Kaya imperialism. So dito naman ang stage sa World War is within the South China Sea affecting the West Philippine Sea. Within sa Philippine territory. At saka, pang-apat na procedural cause o ang word is nationalism. At the pretense of nationalism, kaya nga, heroism, nationalism, ang military naman sa bawat country. Kaya nga, one word is main. M is militarization, ready na, buong daigdig, mga countries. 16,000 naman yung mga nuclear warheads, no? Ready na. Marami pa And then, alliances, ready na. Then, imperialism na China na gustong to rule the world, and United States lalo na sila mag-rule the world with the New World Order. At saka yung nationalism, present na ang all the elements. One click na lang. Kaya nga, tingnan natin ang Russia. Parang silent ang Russia. Walang mga maraming statement, wala eh. 50-50 naman ang Russia as of this date. July 15. Ibukas naman is the feast of Our Lady of Lourdes. So, ano ba ang miracle dito? Extending naman ang China to Russia eh. Pinag-agawa ng isang city. Ano ba ang mangyari? As if na provocating against Russia na. Ang Russia is 50-50 pa rin. If we have to observe, would they would be favor in China, or would they abstain, or would they go against China? The answer is Mother Mary. Mother Mary talaga. Here comes the role of the church. Russia talaga is like Saint Paul. Siya ang Saulo. Kaya nga, pag magmilagro ang simbahan, church authorities, even just 30 minutes, consecrate ang Russia. Pag mag-consecrate ang Russia, a miracle would happen. Sabi ng Mother Mary, ano mangyari? Pag consecrate, ito talaga, siya na ang mag-pacify. Siya na ang China, withdraw, China, withdraw. Alam naman eh, kapag hindi ka mag-withdraw, China, Russia will form part with the alliance of United States and all other countries of the world. Hindi kami mag-back up sa iyo. Ano ba? Should China move na walang great country na back up sa kanya? India lang, power ng India against China? Ano ba ang sa may saligan sa China? Ang Iran, ang Iraq, okay lang sila. So, i-present naman natin naman lahat ng mga makinarya sa gira naman. So, there is a turning point. Mother Mary, because Mother Mary promised na once mag-consecrated ang Russia, peace. Whole world talaga. Peace. Kaya nga, itong sabi na the triumph of the Immaculate Heart of Mary and the most Sacred Heart of Jesus. Pag-convert naman ang Russia, convert naman ang China, sino nag-back up sa China? 52 countries. Most mga Muslim countries. Conversion na rin sila to Christianity. The drama of life talaga, the Lord. No? So, conversion na ito. Pag-convert na ito, yan. Matuma na gayon. It would be a reality. In 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 24 to 28, na all government authorities, all spiritual powers, all rulers in the world will bow down to Christ. And Christ will turn over the government to the Father. Yan na talaga ang the kingdom of God in its fullness. And maging reality na sa Revelation 11 verse 15. Kaya nga sa intro naman natin sa intro naman natin padating ang Panginoon pinag-present na ang judgment. Kapag mangyari ito, and then biglang before the second coming of Christ, may gira naman, Billions. It's not millions of people who die. It's not millions. Sa 7.8 billion, buti lang may mabuhay pang 1 billion eh. Buti lang may mabuhay pang kahit 1 billion. So, death, 6 billion ba o anong mangyari? Ang Philippines, nagkaon tayo sa Pilipinas. Isang bomba lang. Ano ba mangyari ni Brother Glynn Marimon? Ano ba mangyari ni Ma'am Eva Subic, SB Secretary? Malapit lang kayo eh. Ano ba mangyari kay Josephine? Ano ba mangyari? Buhay ba tayo? Wala eh. Kaya nga, pinag-discuss na natin ang formula ni St. Paul, no? Chapter 6, verse 10 to 18. Tayong lahat ay Christian soldiers. Christian soldiers tala. And so, we will now play, no? Marami ito. So, China was shocked, no? O the Philippine military. Ano talaga? US, Australia, and Japan preparing to attack China. So that's July 15. So marami pang mga actions, marami pang mga ginawa, mga developments now. So we are at the midst for our prayers. Ito talaga ang power natin. The decision, the future of the world rests on the Philippines. So, ito na nga. Tingnan po natin na doon pa rin sa Pilipinas.
This year, participation by Australia and Japan in the annual U.S.-Philippine military exercise will increase pressure on China and could spark an increase in military training. The U.S. Embassy in Manila said Thursday that its Balikatan exercises with Southeast Asian nations from May 7th to 18 will bring multinational forces from Australia and Japan to exercise and invite Britain as observers. Australia has participated since 2014. At least 5 warships that march in these waters, such as USS Ronald Reagan, USS Antietam, which carry precision missiles, and USS Milius, which also carry precision missiles. There were 3 Japanese warships taking part in this parade, namely JS Kaga, known as the helicopter destroyer, and the destroyers JS Inazuma and JS Suzutsuki. Australia, Japan, and the United States have said they want to keep the 3.5 million square kilometer South China Sea open for international use. China claims more than 90% of the sea as its own based on historical records of its use. Last week, China's military website said the naval fleet, including aircraft carriers, conducted a series of exercises in the South China Sea. The purpose of this exercise is not yet known, but the U.S. has long voiced freedom of navigation in this area and has often deployed its warships to pass through disputed areas. This battle game is likely to make Beijing inflame.
Okay, talaga. So, nakita na natin ha. Ito gitanawag na kanilang exercise and then pinanghanda na United States, Japan, Australia, neighboring countries with the Philippines. Let us now talk on the legality on the matter. The causa et origo est materia negoti. The cause and origin is the substance of the thing. Ang hinungdan o ang lintunganay maong dugukan sa usa ka butang. Ano ba ang legal na background? Based on the findings, of course, no? We have our legal illuminary, yung para pinaka-brilliant talaga in so far as maritime law, international law. Si Justice Supreme Court, no? Senior Justice po ito, no? Associate Justice Antonio T. Carpio. Sabi po niya sa kanyang findings speech po niya, pinag-delivered po sa last August 29, 2013 pa, no? Sa Philippine Bar Association. Pinagsabi po niya na in the 17th century pa lang, history, ang England, Spain, and Portugal. Itong England, kaya English ang language, no? English. Na-colonize nila ang Amerika, kaya nga English ang language. And then hanggang colonize pa nila ang Australia, English, Canada, etc. Kaya English naman talaga. So kaya international language, English. Another colonizing power is yung Spain. Kaya nga tayo ay under sa Spain at saka Portugal. So tayo, yung tatlo na nag-colonize, yung navigation sa buong mundo, no? Sa 17th century ito. The naval superpowers of the days, itong mga nations or countries, ay tinawag na mga superpowers of the day during that 17th century. They claimed ownership of the oceans and seas. So yung mga ocean, pinag-claim nila nga kami ang may-ari dito. Na-discovered sila sa mga oceans, Pacific Ocean, ito talaga, no? Uban pa. So, sabi nila, kami ang may-ari diyan, no? And enforce their claims through the barrel of the naval cannon. Persa ito, kami ang may-ari. But don't you know that there was an author of a book? Mayroon siyang sinulat na libro na it was buried, no? Parang hopeless siya, walang naniwala sa kanyang libro eh. He was ignored. Time happened na nahukay talaga. Nakuha ng libro ng ilubong naman eh. So in our research, lahat naman talaga. Kaya nga sa 1609, authored book ni Hugo Grotius. Siya ang naging father ng international law. Although, in reality, biblical times sa Babylonian, si Hammurabi, King Hammurabi, dahil mayroon siyang Code of Hammurabi dealing on international law. But, in the modern area, period, 1609. So, naging father of international law. Bakit? Na-resolve niya ang issue eh. So, yung international law author na si Hugo Grotius, sinabi po na in his classic Mare Liberum, The Free Sea, meron siya sinulat na The Free Sea, free ang kadagatan, that the oceans and seas belong to all mankind and no nation could claim. Yan, take note. Yung mga seas, ang kadagatan, ang oceans, ang tag-iya ni Ana ang may-ari ay all peoples of the world. And no single nation can own an ocean, no single nation can own the seas. Yan. And so, after over a century of battle, no? Pinag-battle itong mga prinsipyo between those who insisted on ownership of the oceans and seas. So, yung tatlo ng mga bansa, yung England, yung Spain, yung Portugal, gusto sila nga, kami may-ari, kami na nag-discover. Pero ang iba naman ng mga nations, no, you cannot own it. And so, ano ba ang nangyari? Oh, those who fought for freedom of the oceans and seas for all mankind. Ang grossius idea eventually prevailed na nagwagi talaga. So that it formed part of the international. So it laid down the foundation for the law of the sea, kaya maritime law. So that sa 21st century, ito na nga ang China application. Asia's rising regional naval power. So ang China nang nagrole sa Asia. Insofar as the maritime sa seas are in-claim po talaga yung China sa ownership by virtue of historical right to almost 90%. Imagine ito. China ito. Violet color. Almost 90%. Claim po niya na sila ang may-ari. And then represented by the 9 dust line map. Mayroon silang line map ito. 9 dust line map. So kaya nga ang basis nila echoes the 17th century maritime claims of the naval superpowers of that era. Ano ba ang nangyari? China is enforcing its claim through its rapidly growing naval fleet. Ginamit naman nila mga military naman. And it left to stand. Ano ba ang nangyari? China's claim will bring the world back to the turbulent maritime era 400 years ago. So nabalik ang issue during the time, 17th century, na panahon sa England, Spain, at saka yung Portugal. Ano ba? Nations claimed that oceans and seas and maritime claims were settled through the naval canon and not. So, ang question na po ngayon is, what is the dispute in the West Philippine Sea? Ito talaga Kaya nga, yung China disputable over all the waters, islands, reefs, rocks, seabed, minerals, and living and non-living resources falling within its 9 dust line claim in the South China. Gusto sila. Talaga may-ari sa lahat na nadoon sa South China Sea. Kaya nga, they violated the international law. So, ang 9 dust line area comprises sa almost 90% sa total area South China Sea. So, ano naman adversely affected na ang Philippine Exclusive Economic Zone. Ito. So, mayroon tayong 200 nautical mile na exclusive economic zone. At saka, mayroon pang 100% of its 150 nautical mile extended. Mayroon pang 150 nautical mile extended continental shelf. So, ano ba ito? ECS. ECS. Facing the South China Sea. Kaya nga, ito talaga is what the Philippines calls as the West Philippine Sea.